So now we have that IndyCar game. I spoke to Tony. After the deal was announced, I shot him an email and said, "Hey, I just have a question. When did this deal come out? When did the deal get worked out?" I gave him a call. I talked to him on the phone. I bust my butt to build up these relationships, and the iRacing team have been nothing but good. I've loved iRacing for years. I'm bad at it. I haven't played it in a while because it just, got to make budget cuts. But it's still, I'm super excited about this game, and they're great people who are passionate about what they do. But talked to him, made a phone call, and I asked, when did the IndyCar deal come together? And he told me that things really picked up in late 2024, and a deal was made in early 2025. Late 2024, early 2025, basically a few months of negotiations, and now they announced it. Why did they announce it now? He said, quote, "They finalized the agreement with them early this year, so it was 6 to 9 months ago. It was the range of everything, and we didn't want to announce it too soon because we'd rather get some development under our belt and whatnot. And as far as the game being announced now, it was intentional because of the end of the IndyCar season happening this weekend in Nashville. He said they needed to start talking more openly to the teams and getting driver feedback on the physics and things like that. Doing that with the game unannounced and in private kind of caused issues. So it was a good time to, quote, let the cat out of the bag." So that story's on Insider Gaming. But there was more. There was more. I had asked about, we were talking about, when the deal came and the studio and how it's going to be developed. They said it in the press release. The game will be built in the proprietary Orantis engine. Now, if you don't know what Orantis is, it was a studio that iRacing acquired because of the technology they had. This studio released last year a game called Exocross. I had spoken with the director of that game at Insider Gaming as one of the Indy initiatives in Developer Spotlight Now interview series. I'll throw that in the Discord too. But they loved that technology. Let me load up what that game looks like. Because I got to play this is Exocross while we're talking about it. With racing simulators, you don't need to hear my voice while you're already hearing my voice. Don't mind the quality. I don't know why it's so choppy, but this is Exocross. A very nice, the way the game plays, controlled really well. So this is Exocross from Orantis. The game wasn't expected to do gangbusters. It was more of a technical demo. The way, in my mind, it felt more like a technical project to just show with the engine and what it can do. And they have a team separately. This is the new information. This new team is separate from the iRacing NASCAR team at Monster Games. This is a different team focused on this engine, building this game. What's more is they didn't announce this game and now are starting to build it. I was told that they have a functioning, running game at this point. There's still a lot of work to do. That's why the game's not coming out until second half of next year. Who knows what that date will be, but second half of next year means after like June and beyond of next year. If I had to guess, maybe towards the end of that season. Like if I were to put a guess now, I'd say July of next year is the IndyCar game. Provided things go smoothly. I'd say July. That's with no insider information on that. That's just me guessing. Second half, towards the end of the season, Labor Day weekend wraps it up. July, then you got that month and so of extra time. But they acquired this studio, Orantis, and the technology of this engine showed what it could be, what it could do, how good it is, and then they started building a game. One of the things they didn't do was get the license to build an IndyCar game without having a game. They wanted to see what they can do. They have a functional game. There's UI, there's the physics. You can go in and play it now on the systems they're developing it for. And they have a game running. Another thing about this IndyCar game, they're bringing over the assets like they are with NASCAR. They're bringing over the assets of from iRacing, the tracks, the car designs, and stuff like that. They'll be brought into this engine and built out, which will allow things like NASCAR to be done, relatively smoother, quicker on that aspect. So there's some new information there. Obviously, the big deal with iRacing and IndyCar, they still got their relationship with iRacing itself. They're going to be adding with the next season, the upcoming season 4 for 2025, the Indy NXT car, Indy Next car. That's going to be coming in, which is pretty cool. A quick recap: they are building it, bringing in assets from iRacing that already the IndyCar assets, tracks, and whatnot like that, using their Ronsis engine, a separate team from the NASCAR team, and they already have a playable version of the game that they are working on that is still being built out. So nothing groundbreaking, but still some new information about IndyCar, and it's a big day for fans. We really didn't think that IndyCar would get a game. It hasn't had a game since 2004. It's been 21 years since we've had a game, and in 2026 it'll be 22 years, and we will have a new IndyCar console game.